Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Fortress Podcast. We're back, finally. Woohoo!
After what, a year?
No, we did one back in April, I think, was the last one we did.
I guess it's been a few months.
Yeah, I mean, it's still been a while, but not as long.
Not quite a year.
Yeah, but we're back, finally. Hopefully.
See how long this lasts.
Yeah, no kidding. Hopefully we can do this more often because you've got better internet now and I've got a computer that's better for this. So hopefully as long as we can just find time to record, we can do this more often.
Say, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Just finding time to do it.
Yeah, that's the problem is our schedules don't align up very often. We were lucky today that it aligned so well, but who knows if that will always happen.
Yeah.
But we're back for the time being at least. And we've actually got quite a bit of news to talk about. We didn't even go through, or we're not even going through absolutely everything, but we picked out some stuff that we think is worth talking about.
There has been a lot since we did the last podcast.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit, but yeah, we've got quite a bit, so hold on just a second. Yeah, so we're going to talk about several news stories today, including the all the casting and stuff with the new Spider-Man movie, the trailers for the second season of Mandalorian and the first season of WandaVision, some other stuff. Then we're going to talk about, then we're going to do a ranking of our top 10 favorite villains to end off the show. How is it making that list?
It is difficult.
Really?
A lot of mine are comic book villains, just because those are the only ones I can think of.
Yeah.
Really much. Because that's if you listen to the podcast before, this is pretty much what the only things I watch is.
Yeah.
Comic book stuff.
Well, most of my stuff is all my stuff, I guess, is geeky stuff, but I got a few on there that aren't comic book villains, but yeah, for the most part, mine are that as well. But yeah. Alright, so I want to just start off with Mandalorian trailer. Speculation with that. Alright. It looks really good. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, curious to see what direction they take it, because it looks like, continuing where the finale left off of trying to find the species, return.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda slaps a child to his family or whatever.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see where they go with that and everything. Apparently, I didn't realize this, but apparently Rosario Dawson wasn't confirmed to be in the season until just this week or something. Like, up until that point, it was still just rumors.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she got confirmed cast a couple months ago.
Apparently, that was just rumors. I thought that as well, but I saw something where it was just confirmed this week for sure by by Disney themselves. So, but we still don't know who she's playing. I don't think.
I don't think confirmed Ahsoka. Did they not confirm that was Ahsoka?
They may have. I know that's the big rumor, but I don't know if they've officially confirmed it or not. But
because didn't we get? Isn't it confirmed we're getting the getting Boba Fett with the actor who played Jango Fett in the prequels? Are we getting?
Yes, we know for sure that that's happening, and I think we know for sure that Katie Sackhoff is coming back as her character from Clone Wars. I can't remember who that character is, but she was.
Bo-Katan?
Yes, her. I think we know for sure that she's coming back.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
and then heard we're supposedly getting Sabine Wren.
I heard that
supposedly she was in the trailer.
I heard that too, but I haven't seen anything about that, so I'm not sure. My big concern for this season still stands, and that's I hope it's not too much of just here are a bunch of faces and characters you're familiar with from other things.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern. I hope that with all these characters that we're familiar with, that they're implemented well, and I like them there, and I'm hoping that's the case. But I am a bit concerned, especially with season 1 having no familiar characters at all.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird to go from that to like 4 or 5 characters from other Star Wars stuff that you're familiar with. But I'm still excited. The trailer itself looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's interesting they based most of the trailer on Wanda Kala.
Yes. Yeah, that's
which
true.
Was interesting.
Yeah. This is something it's a kind of a weird thing, kind of like, so I never imagined seeing boats in Star Wars. That was just a weird thing to me when that popped up, but
that's how they would look in Star Wars, though. I mean,
no,
they nailed the design.
Yeah, totally. It's just something I've never seen before, but
yeah.
Yeah, it starts streaming at the end of this month, so like it's real soon.
Yeah.
The end of this year has like a lot of stuff going for it as far as releases.
Mando season 2, WandaVision season 1.
Yeah.
And what else?
The 3rd season of Cobra Kai comes out at the very beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Which, if you're not watching it, you totally should.
Yeah, I need to.
It's great. But the big Doctor Who Time Lord Victorious event, which I'm going to talk about briefly after we go through some new stuff, is happening through the beginning of next year. So we've got a lot of stuff going on at the end of this year. Hopefully it's good, because we could use some good stuff this year.
Yeah, wrap a bad year off with some good news.
Yeah, hopefully. Especially with everything getting delayed even further and further out.
Yeah, 'cause Black Widow got pushed back to May 21.
Yep.
Which I was surprised about. I thought they were going to go ahead and do the direct-to-streaming service.
I'm glad they're not, but I'm still disappointed we have to wait so long for it.
And Shang-Chi, they pushed that back too, didn't they?
Yeah, and they pushed Eternals really far back. I'm surprised we have to wait as long for that as we are.
I thought they were in post. Or are they still filming?
They are, but it was supposed to come out after Black Widow. It's not coming out till after Shang-Chi now. It's coming out in like November of next year.
Oh wow, they pushed that far back?
Yeah, which surprised me because it was supposed to come out right after Black Widow.
It is, because it was wasn't it like September release originally or something like that?
Yes.
Or was it?
Yeah, it was like September or October of this year, and then they pushed it back to February, and then they pushed it back even further to November of next year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But then I don't think any movies after that have been pushed back quite yet. I think it's just the 2021 slate that's just been moved around.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Well, no, a couple of other movies would have had to have been pushed back, because I think we were supposed to get
Jurassic World.
Yeah, Jurassic World.
Was that in 21 or was that in early 22?
It was supposed to be 21, but we didn't have like a date for it in 21 yet.
Okay.
But it was set for 21, and then they pushed it back to 22. The newest James Bond movie got pushed back.
That's been pushed back a lot.
Yeah, it and Wonder Woman have gotten pushed back about as many times now as New Mutants.
Because wasn't both those films supposed to come out early 2020?
Yeah, I think so.
And they were getting pushed back to 21.
And now I'm hearing Wonder Woman's getting a direct-to-video order, is what I'm hearing.
Through which service?
I'm not sure. I don't think that's been announced yet, but the rumor right now is that it's direct-to-video.
Probably HBO Max.
Probably.
With everything DC going over there.
Yeah.
That'd make the most sense.
I'm wondering if they're going to do something similar to Disney Plus, and if you have to pay for it to watch it or not.
Nah, I don't think they would do that.
I don't think
'Cause
so.
if they were paying attention to how Mulan was received when Disney did it,
Yeah.
if they do go ahead with that plan, it's going to have to be a lot cheaper than what Disney did with the Mulan one.
Yeah, because I heard reviews for Mulan, and I don't think people would have liked it even if it came out in theaters, but they would have liked it probably a lot more had they not had to pay $30 for it.
Well, I mean, still, like, if you go to the movie theater, you're still probably, if you get food and everything like that, you're still probably going to pay roughly $30 for it.
Yeah, but there's some. Yeah, but you're still getting like a different experience going to the theaters and all of that sort of stuff. That's still paying for multiple people plus popcorn and stuff on top of the movie itself. So versus with Disney Plus, you're paying $30 for just the movie on whatever TV you're gonna watch it on. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, we're getting a lot of pushbacks this year. So
Unfortunately.
yeah.
But,
And this would have been a really good year for movies, too.
yeah.
Assuming the movies that came out ended up being good, I guess.
What
But
about Tenet? Have you heard anything about that one? Because I know that was supposedly dropped back in August, September, I think. I don't know.
yeah,
that
it came
one
out. I
was.
didn't hear too much about it, other than people liked it, but just said that the time travel stuff was really confusing.
Well, it's Christopher Nolan film, so everything's going to be confusing about it.
Yeah, Christopher Nolan plus time travel doesn't really help it out a bunch.
I mean, that's most of his films.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is some sort of time travel or cognitive thing.
Yeah. But, yeah. And that's one of... I still haven't seen the new Bill and Ted yet. I keep meaning to do that.
That one dropped?
Yeah, that one came out. I heard good things about it. I heard that people mostly liked it, so that's good.
I still need to see the other ones.
Yeah, I've seen the first one, and I haven't seen the third one yet because I'm still trying to watch the second one first. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll get around to it eventually. But there was some other movie that was supposed to come out this year that got pushed back, but I don't immediately remember.
That sounds about all of them. I think that.
At least as far as the ones that we were probably going to watch.
New Mutants? That one finally dropped, didn't it?
Yeah, and people mostly hated it, so
Of course.
yeah. Kind of sad that that's how the X-Men movies go out, but, you know.
No, yeah, because that would be the last one with
Yeah, it's the last one.
Fox.
Yeah, so that's
Did all that finally go through with Disney?
Yeah, that's all done.
Okay.
And sooner or later we should start seeing some sort of implementation of all of that into the MCU in some form.
It would have to be Phase 5, I would think.
Yeah, Phase 5, before they really
They
start.
already have everything slated for Phase 4 already.
Unless they throw in some sort of cameo in like Doctor Strange or something. Actually, I did hear a rumor that Quicksilver from the X-Men movies was going to appear in WandaVision. I don't know if that's true or not, but that was a big rumor.
That'd be weird and hard to do, I would think, in a fan-pleasing way. I
Yeah,
would think, based on the way they're going with it.
but yeah, I don't know how that would be handled. But that could be interesting or horrible depending on how it's handled.
Yeah.
It would especially be
I see him going Doctor Strange.
yeah.
Introduce them in that movie. WandaVision seems too soon and no clear multiverse way of doing it, I don't think.
Well, and we'll talk about this more in a minute when we get to this story, but there was also a rumor that they would bring in Jamie Foxx's Electro through that show.
Through WandaVision?
Yeah. I don't know if like he'll pop up in the show itself or just the events of the show are what cause him to pop up in that Spider-Man movie, but that's a rumor I've heard too.
It would have to be through the events of the show.
That
I don't see him popping up in the actual show.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. I could see that happening with Quicksilver. I couldn't see that with Electro.
Yeah.
But it would especially be weird if they did it with Quicksilver, considering it sounds like they're not bringing in the other actors from the X-Men universe. They're completely rebooting X-Men.
Quicksilver was a fan favorite recently, so
Yeah.
I can see him doing that one.
But it would be weird to have them bring him in and then completely recast all the other X-Men. But I'm not sure.
It would be weird.
I don't know. These are interesting times for sure. I guess that's a good segue to discuss the WandaVision trailer.
Yeah.
I think it looks really good. I'm excited for that show. I hope it ends up looking good, or ends up being as good as that trailer looks.
Yeah, the trailer looked interesting with the direction they're going with it and some of the breakdowns I've seen, and it's interesting to see where they're going with it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they explain her powers going from just being able to move things and occasionally messing with people's minds to completely warping reality.
Well, they did nerf her in Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah, they did.
So that'll be interesting to see how they go from that nerf to the buff in WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly that's going to be handled, but I don't know. I think it looks really good. It's weird that this is our introduction to Phase 4, considering we were supposed to have 2 movies and another show before it. Because both Black Widow and Eternals were supposed to come out, and Falcon and Winter Soldier were all supposed to come out before this.
Yeah.
And now WandaVision's our Phase 4 introduction.
That is interesting that they did that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that show got done filming before Falcon and Winter Soldier did.
They're still filming though, aren't they? Or they wrap up and it's in post?
For Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
I believe they recently got back to filming after quarantine and everything.
Okay.
I think they are filming it still.
When is that slated to come out now? Is that a February release?
I believe so. I believe it's early next year. Is the current slate.
That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah. I don't know.
Finish filming and do post on the first couple episodes.
Well,
was it 4 months?
Well, they were probably able to do a lot of post-production on what they had already filmed during quarantine and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just getting the rest of it filmed and edited that I think's what caused them to push it back. But how do you think this show will tie into Doctor Strange? Because she's going to be in that movie. So just from this, how do you think it's going to tie into that?
Big thing I've heard is that Doctor Strange is basically coming in to fix what she is going to do at the end of the show.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that ends up being, like how much she distorts and changes reality and everything.
Which this is interesting because with the way they're having this planned out, there really can only be one season of WandaVision.
I think all these shows are meant to only have one season, at least the ones centered around the pre-existing characters. I don't know if like Miss Marvel or She-Hulk will get more seasons, but I think these ones around the pre-existing characters are going to only be one season.
That's a terrible way to plan.
Um, I don't know if they planned it that way. I think that could work out well, but I don't know when they made that decision.
Probably early on.
Probably, but yeah, I think that's the plan for these. I could be wrong, but I'm not. But I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they probably are going to do just the one season.
Yeah. Which I think works as like extended movies or whatever, as these are sort of meant to be.
Yeah.
I think just from the little bit we've seen, all the visual effects and everything looks great. Vision looks great. It all looks movie quality, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I was expecting, but at the same time, something like Vision and Scarlet Witch's powers, I'm a little questioning on a TV budget, so I think it looks, or I guess this is a movie budget, just extended out and everything, but
Yeah. It's curious to see what they do, because we haven't really seen her powers in the trailer.
yeah, we haven't seen much of anything from her more than just a little bit here and there, but nothing big.
Yeah.
I wonder how big of a role their kids are going to play in this, because we know they're supposed to have kids at some point, or she's supposed to have kids, I guess. So, like, I wonder if that's set up for, like, a Young Avengers type thing, or what? House of M, maybe?
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm really excited to see how it goes and what happens and everything. I think...
Do we have a Phase 4 Avengers film
No, we don't.
announced yet?
No,
Okay.
Phase 4 is completely without an Avengers movie, I think. I think they just...
What films are in Phase 4? Black Widow, Eternals,
Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi.
Doctor Strange, Spider-Man 3, Thor, and... I think that's it. I think that's it.
So we're not even getting an Avengers film.
Yeah, I think after Endgame and all, they wanted to take a little bit of time off from the big event movies and everything. Because, you know, Endgame was so big, it's hard to top that immediately after. So just give it a bit time off and then come back Phase 5, do something real big.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm glad that our introduction to Phase 4 is not a prequel film like Black Widow was.
Is that classified as a prequel film? Even though there's part of it that... Well, no, a lot of that does take place after Civil War.
Yeah, it's between Civil War and Infinity War.
That's right.
So...
Which is a weird time to
Yeah, I don't know why...
post it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Especially with that being their original first film in Phase 4. Like, that's a weird choice overall. But I don't know. At this point, it will be a miracle if we get any Phase 4 movies.
Yeah.
If theaters don't hurry up and open up again or whatever. Did you hear that, what was it, Regal Cinemas is closing
it's
down?
closing all their film.
Yeah.
Closing all their theaters.
That's crazy.
And then AMC is... They closed down, didn't they? Or they were going under...
I know that they're not doing great, but I don't know if there's been any confirmation of, like, closing down or not. Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah.
Yeah. Theaters gotten hit hard with this COVID thing.
Yeah, they were hit very hard, and that's really sad, but, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So, anything else you want to say about that?
No.
Alright, so, next thing I had on there sort of fits with that, and that's the recent casting news for Spider-Man 3, the third MCU Spider-Man movie, and that's that Jamie Foxx will be returning as Electro. He played Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then on top of that, Doctor Strange will be in the movie as Peter's new mentor figure. So that's really interesting news. I don't know. I'm going to say this up front. I really hope this does not mean we're doing some sort of Spider-Verse movie. I hope I'm wrong, but I really hope that's not what we're doing.
It would be interesting if they did do a Spider-Verse movie, but they do it with all the live-action Spider-Man. Because I know there's been a big call for that among some of the Spider-Man fans to have all three in one film. So
I wouldn't mind it if either A, it was its own movie after the MCU trilogy finished, or if that happened in like an Avengers-style event film. I don't want it in the third movie. Because tonally, these movies are so much of what I want from a Spider-Man movie that I really don't want the third movie to just go off the rails, Spider-Verse, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, all that sort of thing. I'd be fine with it if it were like Spider-Man 4 or something.
Standalone film rather than part of a trilogy.
Yeah.
Already pre-established trilogy.
Yeah. I don't know. I just personally don't like Spider-Man being part of like the big multiversal type stuff. I don't mind it when it's like, I was fine with it in Endgame and Infinity War because that's an Avengers movie that Spider-Man's in. I don't want that in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Well, because it's not really on the big cosmic upper level villain scale as like Iron Man or Captain America.
Exactly.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right. And
gotta watch out for the little guy.
Exactly. These movies finally got that in both Homecoming and Far From Home. Even with Far From Home being like overseas and everything, that was still kind of a smaller threat. It was just a dude with in a mocap suit with some really convincing hologram. Like, it wasn't world-ending or anything like that. So to see them go from that to possibly Spider-Verse, I don't know. I hope that's not what we do, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, that'll be interesting. Bringing the Electro in, because I heard that one wasn't the best thing about The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I don't have an opinion on this, but that was one of the weaker parts of the film.
Once he became Electro, he wasn't that bad. It was just all the stuff before he became Electro, where he was just some nerdy scientist dude that was really awful and like really cringeworthy and stuff. But like once he became Electro, he was fine. But they also supposedly confirmed that he's going to be yellow or not blue this time.
So a little more comic book accurate.
Yeah.
Looking, at least the classic looking one.
Yeah, at least classic Electro.
Because isn't Ultimate one the full blue living electricity sort of one?
Yeah, that's from Ultimate, not the main universe. But I think they're trying to go for more classic comic book, which is kind of.
We'll get the lightning headgear.
I hope so.
The original.
Not as big as the original, but maybe something like it.
Subtle looking version of it.
Yeah. I'd be fine with this if the rumor that it's because of WandaVision that he's here and he's just here in this movie and it's not really a major part of the story that he's from another universe. But I don't want it to be he is from another universe.
Yeah.
And that's a major part of the story. But this is kind of a long shot because I don't know why you do this, but I've heard it brought up. they haven't confirmed that he's playing that version of Electro. They just said that they brought him back. It would be really weird and kind of stupid to cast him as a different version of Electro, but I have heard that suggested. I don't know if I like that any more or less than the other option, but
if they go that route, then you don't really have to worry about. If they do it that way, then that takes the whole multiverse part of the theory out,
and that's
to make it more than just more of a friendly neighborhood, low level that we've seen in the other films.
And that's the part about it that I do like. The part about it that I don't like is I'm so much into like the continuity and stuff like that I'd be like, well, how come Electro looks like this other version of him from this other universe, but none of these other characters look the same?
Yeah.
That's the part that would really confuse me, and people didn't really like that version of Electro. Why would you bring him back to play a different version of Electro? It's not like the J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson thing, where everyone sort of agrees that he's the perfect casting for that character, so of course bring him back even as a different version. People didn't overly like that version of Electro, so why bring him back to play a different version?
Probably a contract issue. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a Sony thing, if that's part of Sony trying to have influence on that movie.
Probably. Because when does Sony get Spider-Man rights back?
After
solely Sony.
I believe it's after the third movie. I believe that's part of their deal, unless they continue with negotiations after that. But I'm not sure.
Maybe they're setting something up for when they get the rights back.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Sony makes so many weird and stupid choices that it would not surprise me if that's a Sony decision before it's a Marvel decision. But I don't know.
I can see that being the case.
Yeah. This would also explain why Doctor Strange is in the movie, because when Far From Home came out, I heard that part of Sony and Marvel's deal is that every movie, a character from a major MCU character has to appear in the movie. So that's why Iron Man was a major part of Homecoming, and Nick Fury was a major part of Far From Home.
That would make sense for bringing Doctor Strange in.
Yeah, I don't like that it's Doctor Strange, because again,
that's the only one that's really interacted with Peter.
Yeah, unless they wanted to do something fun with like Falcon being some sort of new mentor to him after he beat up Falcon in Civil War. I could see that being something
Maybe.
fun. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Doctor Strange really is the only other character that has had enough interaction with Peter to make a good mentor to him.
Yeah.
But
maybe what if it's something with press, having to do with press once the movie, gets out and they got to do all the press tours or whatever. Benedict was the quote-unquote handler for Tom Holland during all the interviews.
That could be part of it.
Because, you can't trust Tom Holland with secrets.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So that's probably what it is, just to keep that pair together, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Because have you seen videos of Anthony Mackie and Tom Holland doing panels and stuff?
I think I've seen one or two, but I haven't seen a ton of them.
Like, they bicker so much. Like, I can see them letting something slip on accident. Just the two of them.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah. I'm wondering, because we originally heard rumors that Kraven the Hunter was going to be the villain for this movie. I wonder how true that still is, if he's supposed to still be the villain, or if they're doing like a multi-villain thing, or what.
Didn't they try a multi-villain thing though?
Um,
I feel like they've done that somewhere, and I can't think of it. But
we did Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 both had multiple villains, and well, Homecoming also did too, because it was Vulture and then the Shocker.
yeah, I guess they might. Depending on how they're going with it, they can make Electro a secondary villain.
That's what they need to do. That was the problem with Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2, is that both had to try and make all the villains the main villain, and so you have three separate villain plots that don't come together until the very end, and you're constantly jumping from, well, Sandman's trying to do this thing, and now we gotta deal with the Venom stuff, and now Green Goblin stuff, and none of it worked. But if you just do like Kraven the Hunter's our main villain, and Electro's working with him, Electro's kind of just there as the big heavy hitting villain, and but Kraven's the main one calling all the shots. That would work a lot better than Electro's got his own plot over here, and Kraven's got his own plot over here, and they don't really ever connect.
Yeah.
I think that's hopefully what they would do if they do something like that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Anything else you got on that?
I think that about covers all that.
Alright. Want to talk briefly about Supergirl coming to an end?
Yeah, I mean, that one didn't really surprise me that too much. How much?
Yeah, not really. I don't really have much to say about the show itself coming to an end. I'm glad that that seems to be like the writers making the decision, so that way like they can actually end the show and not just not CW saying, okay, we're canceling this now.
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't care about Supergirl enough to really get sad by it ending or anything.
I mean, I never really watched it. I think I watched season 1, even though I was like halfway through. I stopped watching, so.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of season 1, but like I didn't watch much of it. And then I'd pop in for the crossovers, but that's it.
Yep, that was me. Got about halfway through season 1, then there was the Flash crossover, and then I just watched all the other crossover episodes.
Yeah. But I don't know. That was one of.
I thought Legends was gonna be first.
I
thought
did.
Either Legends or Flash was gonna go first.
I did too. I'm surprised Legends is still going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if Flash's ending is not too far around the corner, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's weird that they keep adding shows to this Arrowverse that is seemingly coming to its end, because the two of the three big shows are about done at this point. Arrow's done, Supergirl's ending, Flash is the only one still going on. Like, it's just weird to me that you would keep that going.
Yeah.
Because we got that Superman and Lois show that's still apparently happening. Who knows what's going on with that Green Arrow and the Canary show.
I think they're not doing that one anymore.
Okay.
I think I heard that one was shutting down because there wasn't much appeal for it, or it didn't work, I think.
Okay. For some reason they're continuing Batwoman, which is weird to me.
That was a weird one.
Yeah, it's like, people didn't really like Batwoman season 1. You lost your main actress. Why continue?
Yeah.
Why not just end it there? And then
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning is apparently still going strong. I've heard good things about that, though I've never watched it.
I've never watched it either.
Stargirl, which I really liked, is apparently going to be roped into the Arrowverse here soon. So, great. I can expect a huge dip in quality in that show. So that's awesome.
Didn't Stargirl start out as the DC Universe uh, show.
Yeah, it did, and it was great. Um, so yeah.
Is that still around? No, they shut that down, didn't they?
It's shutting down at the end of this year, and at the beginning of next year, it's going to be comics only.
Okay.
Which I'm excited about because that's the main thing I use it for anymore, is comics. So I'm glad that's sticking around for that. But yeah, all of its stuff is being moved over to either the CW or HBO Max. Swamp Thing's airing on CW right now.
Yeah.
I wonder. I haven't checked it out. I wonder if they're having to like tone any of it down, unless they're airing it like really late at night or something. Because
I think I thought it was prime time.
Okay, then they must be toning it down because on DC Universe, that was like a hardcore horror show.
That would not fly on Disney.
Yeah.
Not on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus brings you Swamp Thing.
That would be interesting. Completely toned down show.
Yeah, totally. But, yeah, so I don't know if they're going to bring that into Arrowverse as well. That would be a weird looking Arrowverse. If
well, technically it is, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it is, like, Arrowverse multiverse.
Or Stargirl and Titans.
Yeah. But
and
I think
Batman was at Batman 66, 89.
Yeah, 89 is Arrowverse as well, which is really interesting moving into the Flash movie.
Birds of Prey, the early 2001.
Yeah.
I don't think were there any other movies like that were now deemed technically DCEU is now classified as Arrowverse.
Yes, it is, and the original Superman movies are as well with Christopher Reeve. Yeah, because Brandon Routh's Superman, because they confirmed that that's the Superman Returns version, which is set in that universe.
Superman Returns is set in the original Superman?
Sorta, kinda. It's kinda weird. It only counts the first two movies, because those are the only ones people like.
So I haven't watched any of them, so that's what I'm not...
Yeah.
I don't follow that a lot.
But Superman Returns is technically a sequel to Superman 1 and 2, and just forgets 3 and 4, because no one likes 3 and 4. But yeah, so technically those movies are also Arrowverse.
Interesting.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like Flash's ending is around the corner or something.
Yeah, they'll probably get through one more season and then probably get renewed for one, but then calling it there.
Yeah, like season.
Or they might not even get renewed after this next season.
Who knows with everything going on and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's... I don't know. I hate to see it go like this because it used to be one of my favorite things, Arrow and Flash.
Yeah.
But seeing it fizzling out like this, like it's not going out with any sort of bang or anything. It's just like, okay, and now this show's ending, and then this show's ending, and then just slowly, the slow and sad death of the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, so real quick, I want to talk about, unless you have anything to add on that.
Nope.
Alright, I really quickly, before we get to ranking our favorite villains, I want to briefly talk about the first book in the Doctor Who Time Lord Victorious event that's going on right now. So what this event is from the end of September of this year till like February or something of next year, they're going to be releasing different books and comics and audio dramas, all telling this one big story in Doctor Who. And Um, so the first book, and there are 2 books and 4 or 5 audio dramas that are going to be coming out, and those are like the main parts of this big event. And so the first book just came out earlier this month, early October. It's not available physically yet in the United States. It's only available digitally so far. The physical book will come out later. But, you know, I was really hoping for some good Doctor Who after the awful dumpster fire that was the season earlier this year. I think we talked about this on the last podcast we did.
Yeah, I think so.
Was me just ranting for like 20 minutes about how bad this season was. So like I was really excited for some good Doctor Who. And luckily, I'll go ahead and say this book delivered. It's not great Doctor Who, but it's good Doctor Who. And I'm excited for that. I'm hoping the rest of this event will also be fairly good. I'll give a quick rundown of what the story of this book is, though I won't get into spoilers. This was advertised as being a big multi-doctor story, so spoiler alert, I guess. Multiple doctors are in this book. I won't really reveal their influence or anything because it is kind of a surprise how they show up and everything. But the basic story is that set in the dark times of the universe, which was this point so far back in time that death doesn't even exist in the universe yet. Like, people just live on forever. And the Doctor's just sort of there exploring. It's David Tennant's version.
Okay.
And he's just there exploring, just like experiencing this whole different universe from what he's used to. And all of a sudden, these creatures called the Keturah from this other universe come in and start judging different races around the universe and giving them lifespans based upon their judgments. And the Doctor's like, you can't just come in and start like basically killing off these entire races, not necessarily in the moment, but by giving them lifespans and everything. You know, these people lived for thousands of years and now they're just all of a sudden just dying. And then the Doctor finds this girl who can't die. Like, no matter what happens, she just can't die. And he's like, this is interesting. And then on top of that, he also meets an Ood assassin who joins him on this adventure, which is fun. But, like, by the end of the story, he's at this point where he's like, I'm going to wipe out the Keturah and basically end death. So he's gone kind of like mad with power, sort of, where he's just like, I'm going to end death forever. There won't be any more death in the universe. The Time War will never have happened. The Time Lords will never have been wiped out. People will never die, basically. And that's when the other Doctors show up. And I won't go into any more spoilers other than that. But that's sort of the foundation for the rest of this event, is the 10th Doctor's kind of going a little bit, not necessarily crazy, but kind of just like mad with power, which is something we've seen from that character before. Is there 1 or 2 episodes towards the end of his run where he starts to think of himself as a much higher power than he is.
Yeah.
And so the other Doctors that show up, which are the 8th and 9th Doctors, they show up to sort of combat this. And so that's the foundation for the rest of this event. So as the first part of this, I liked it. It's good. I would definitely recommend it to other Doctor Who fans who are sort of fed up with the awfulness of the current era of Doctor Who. It's decent. It's not great. I'm hoping the rest of the event will get great, but it is good. It's not bad by any means. And like I said, I'm only talking about this first book. As of right now, none of the audio dramas or anything like that have released yet, but hopefully they'll be good, because I'm looking forward to all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't want to talk too long about that because you haven't read it and all that, but I didn't want to get into too many spoilers. But I will say I enjoyed it. Doctor Who fans, I would recommend it for sure. Um, all right, ready to get on to ranking our villains?
Sure.
All right, so um, we've got 10 villains here. We're going to each rank as our top 10. I do want to specify here because there are one or two villains on this list that if I don't specify this, people might get mad at me about this. These are our favorite villains, not the best villains ever.
Yeah.
These are just the ones that we like the most. So, the villains who I would say are the best Batman villain and the best Spider-Man villain, neither one of them are on this list. It's just my favorite villains. And it will make sense once we get there why I'm prefacing this. But, yeah. You want to go first with your number 10?
I didn't actually rank mine. I just got a list. They're
Oh,
all
okay.
the same, really.
Okay.
I mean, I could throw numbers on these, but I mean, they'll line up. But
I mean, if you want to. Mine are kind of that way as well, up until like the last 4, I would say. Is when I really get
I got a clear top 1.
Okay.
Like, my top 1's fairly clear on what it is.
Okay.
Everything else is kind of just put on here.
All
No
right.
numbers or anything.
All right. So if you'll start with, I guess we'll work our way up to number 1, but just
Okay.
pick whichever one you want first.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, nice. I didn't even think to put a Lord of the Rings villain on here.
Well, that's what I was like. All right, what have I seen that has villains that is like pop culture recognizable?
Yeah.
And then that's what I've been wanting to watch. Like, go back and rewatch the Hobbit trilogy. So I was like, Sauron. There we go. That's a good one.
Yeah. No, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's
So, like, everyone recognizes the orange eye, whether you've seen the movies or not.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. You haven't read the books yet, as far as the Lord of the Rings books, have you?
No.
Okay, I haven't either. Yeah, that's a good one.
Don't show this to Brother Michael then.
Yeah, no kidding.
I finally finished out the trilogy. Would have been in the spring, I think. It was before all this COVID stuff.
Oh, nice.
started.
Had you never seen the full Lord of the Rings trilogy?
I've watched the first 2, and then I finally got to Return of the King a couple months ago
Oh, wow. Nice.
while it was on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I finally said. Like, all right, here, I'll finish out the trilogy and watch it.
I haven't seen those in a good couple of years. I need to sit back and rewatch all of them.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Start with The Hobbit, watch the Hobbit trilogy, and then watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You didn't. I guess if they were on Netflix, you didn't see the extended version.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I own the extended version of Fellowship of the Rings.
Okay.
None of the other ones.
I've only ever seen the extended version. So on Netflix, how long on Return of the King? How long was it from the end of the battle to the end of the movie? Did it like just? Yeah, like the.
It was probably just the. It's been a couple months since I've seen it, but it was probably just. I'm pretty sure it was the end of the battle. Then it was probably the burial scene or the crowning scene, I think, and then them traveling back home.
Okay, because in the extended version, it's like 45 minutes and drags on forever.
Nah, it was. I'm pretty sure like once the battle ended, that was kind of the end of the film. It was cutting loose ends and wrapping up.
Okay. I remember watching that movie for the first time and loving it up until the battle ended, and then it just drags on for 45 more minutes.
I don't know. I didn't like the final battle. The way they used the female character in the final battle, I didn't care for it.
Really? I haven't seen the movie in so long, so I don't even quite remember what you're talking about. But
it was cheesy one-liners.
Oh, okay. Like,
it was terrible fight choreography between the. It was either Sauron or the second in command or whatever, and then it was one of the hobbits, and then it was the female character in disguise as the guy.
was it one of those things where like she has weird, cheesy one-liners about how she's a woman and stuff like that?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was the one where, like, the guy says, "No man can kill me," or whatever like that, and she rips off her helmet and goes, "I am no man," and just kills him.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that sort of stuff.
Like, that was... I was texting Brother Michael when I was watching it too. I'm like, what is this final battle? What is... I heard great things about the movie, and then he gave me this.
Yeah, it's been
like,
so...
What is this?
Wow, I need to rewatch the movie now, because I remember liking it, but it's also been like 6 or so years since I've seen that movie. I've seen Fellowship and Two Towers much more recently than I've seen that one, so...
Yeah.
Wow.
Alright, what's your number 10?
Alright, my number 10 is Kingpin, specifically from Netflix's Daredevil.
That one almost made my list.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, I was throwing that one around.
Yeah, he's great. I've never cared...
That's probably my favorite adaptation of him.
Yeah, I've never cared
Even though I've only seen season 1 of Daredevil, I need to go back and watch the rest of them, but that was probably my favorite adaptation of
He's
Kingpin.
barely in season 2. He gets like one scene with the Punisher, which is great. And then I haven't seen season 3 yet, which I need to get around to. But yeah, I'm mostly going off of season 1 as well. I never really liked the Kingpin in much of anything until that show, and he's great in that. That actor keeps saying that he wants to come back in the Spider-Man movie, and that would make sense because the Kingpin is a great Spider-Man villain, and I want to see that happen. I know that they'd have to tone him down a little bit, but I think he could still be as scary as he is in that show and fit in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I think they could pull it off. Because, like, yeah, I did like that actor as that version of Kingpin.
Yeah, that one, he's great in that show. I don't have a ton to say other than he's one of Marvel's best villains, and I wish the Netflix shows were canon.
Yeah.
It especially hurts that they're not canon after they're bringing back Electro, and there's a possibility he might be the Amazing Spider-Man 2 version.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is, bring back the Netflix shows or make them canon if they're doing something that's not even remotely to the MCU canon, and then bringing that in. It's like, do with your own stuff first.
At the very least, bring those actors back, because not every one of those shows were great. Iron Fist was awful, but at least bring those actors back, because for the most part, the acting was great all around.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just weird situation and all. But, what's your number 9, sir?
Number 9, I would probably put the Xenomorph from the Alien franchise.
Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, that's a great movie monster. Yeah. I still need to watch the rest of those. I've only seen the first one.
I still need to watch Aliens 3 and Aliens Resurrection as part of the original four film group, and then there's Alien Covenant, which is a prequel of the Aliens franchise.
Yeah. You saw Prometheus, right?
Yeah, I finally watched that one because I got it at Second Charles.
That's
on
right.
One of our last trips.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. That was a good one. That's what Alien Covenant is, a sequel to.
Okay.
Prometheus.
Okay. Yeah, Xenomorph's a great villain movie monster. For sure.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is the reason I felt the need to preface the whole favorite, not best thing at the beginning. My one Spider-Man movie, or my one Spider-Man villain on this list is the Shocker.
I am not.
I've told you before.
When you said that your favorite, well, you made the comment about not the best Spider-Man villain, or the best Spider-Man villain not making the list. I immediately went, oh, it's Shocker. He put Shocker on the list somewhere.
Yeah, Shocker's, and that's why he's so low on this list, is because I wouldn't feel right putting him so high up.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Shocker's my favorite Spider-Man villain. Is he the best? Not by a long shot, but I get so excited when he shows up and stuff, and I don't know, I just enjoy him as a character a lot. My favorite version of him is from the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. Where they combine him with another Spider-Man villain and give him a real thick Texan accent and everything. That's my favorite version, and it's the reason I like the Shocker as much as I do. It's also my biggest issue with Spider-Man Homecoming, because they use that version of the Shocker as the first Shocker and then kill him off. And I'm like, that's my favorite Spider-Man villain right there, and you killed him off as a joke. I mean, the joke was funny, but you killed him off as a joke. He's my favorite villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shocker's my favorite Spider-Man villain. I love just sort of the whole loser who always tries to beat up Spider-Man. Because in a lot of versions, he is just kind of a loser.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I would love to see them try and do a movie, and you couldn't do it in, like, MCU or anything, but if they ever rebooted again, I would love to do a Spider-Man movie where, like, he's the one that kills Uncle Ben or something like that, and, like, he's the main villain of the movie or something.
That would be interesting.
If I made a Spider-Man movie, you can guarantee that Shocker would be the main villain of the movie.
Of course it would.
I'm the only idiot crazy enough to make Shocker the main villain of a Spider-Man movie, but you can bet I would do it. What's your number 8?
Number 8, I'm gonna go Reverse Flash with the CW earbard Thawne, not the Harrison Wells version.
Nice. I'm gonna let you do most of the talking on this one, because Reverse Flash is also on my list, and I'll talk when I get there. So, you say what you have to say.
You have Harrison Wells. You have Harrison Wells as your Flash.
Maybe.
I did.
Harrison Wells is. I'll talk about it when we get there.
I don't know. I just liked the way the actor who played the Eobard Thawne version in season 1, and then the little bit in the Flashpoint episodes of season 3. There's just something about him, the way he represents the character, I guess.
Yeah, he was one of the main villains in the second season of Legends, too.
Yeah.
Because that's when they did that awful Legion of Doom thing that was just Malcolm Merlyn, Damien Dark, and Reverse Flash.
I almost decided to put Flash from the Flashpoint animated movie in the spot as my villain.
That would have been pretty good.
Because, like, when I was thinking about it, I was going to reference the Reverse's Flash monologue at the end of the film about how selfish Barry was being in the Flashpoint film.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, realize, if you really think about it, Barry doomed the future of that timeline by missing his mother.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And then that's sort of what happened with the TV show, too. It's like, you realize how much of a villain Barry was.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
he's considered a hero.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Like...
Yeah. No, good choice.
So, yeah. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah.
I shall wait and save mine for later then.
Alright. Darth Vader is obviously the best Star Wars villain. Yeah, and one of the
It
greatest.
better be.
Yeah. And one of the greatest movie villains ever. I don't know. I just feel like it would have been wrong for me not to put him on this list, considering we were doing villains of everything and not just Star Wars or not just comic books and everything. I'm like, Darth Vader has to be on there somewhere.
Well, technically, there is a Darth Vader comic, so technically,
Well, yeah, it's true.
You would have still made that list.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I almost wanted to make a joke and put Kathleen Kennedy as a villain.
You were about to get real meta with this list, weren't you?
Yeah. I was like, nah, I'll just stick with Darth Vader.
She's
I wanted someone from Star Wars had to be represented in my list. It was either going to be Darth Vader or Kathleen Kennedy.
She's one of your honorable mentions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But no, Darth Vader's just one of the best villains. I don't really have. There are a few of these where I don't really have much to say about why I have them on there, other than just, duh, of course they have to be on here. I don't know. It's just Darth Vader.
Just Darth Vader.
Yeah, exactly. If you're questioning why he has to be on here, just watch that scene from Rogue One.
True.
And you'll know exactly why. Yeah, so what's your number 7?
Okay, so this is where everything sort of starts merging together a little bit.
Okay.
This is where I kind of lose track. I put Zemo from the Civil War MCU adaptation.
Oh, nice. He was almost on my list.
Because, like, if you think about it, he is the only one to beat the Avengers.
Yeah.
And get away with it.
Oh, yeah. He won.
It's like he wanted something simple to split the Avengers. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
Tore them apart from the inside.
He's coming back in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That's also why he's on the list, because he's the only one that could reappear multiple times.
Yeah. He's one of the few that didn't die at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was almost on my list too. He's great. Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about that, but yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
Alright, my number 7 is The Riddler.
Really?
Yeah.
Which version?
Oh,
Or just all versions in general?
just sort of in general. The Riddler's my favorite Batman villain.
Counter real quick. Did you ever watch Batman Hush?
No.
That came out a couple years.
No.
Okay. Don't me tell you why I brought that up.
Isn't he revealed to be Hush at the end?
Yes, which was stupid.
Yeah, I never watched that movie.
Stupid plot twist.
Alright. I've never seen that movie, but, yeah.
So you like Jim Carrey's
No, I
Riddler?
don't. No. I think Jim Carrey could play a good Riddler. I just don't think he did.
It's like, do we even classify anything after, was it like Batman Returns as true Batman films?
I don't know. Probably not, but
It's like those were, what was it, Batman and Robin and Batman Forever?
yeah.
Those were some interesting films, to say the least.
The thing is with Batman, I think Batman is one of those characters that can work either super dark or super lighthearted. I just think you need to do it right, and I don't think those movies did it right.
Yeah.
I think Batman's kind of like Ninja Turtles in that way, or Godzilla, where you can have really super silly, goofy movies or really dark and serious stuff. I just don't think we've had enough good, lighthearted stuff from Batman to, do that correctly.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Riddler's my favorite Batman villain. I know the Joker should be on this list, but I don't know what it is about the Joker, but he is the best Batman villain in every way. But for some reason, I just like the Riddler more. I get more excited when the Riddler pops up in things. I think there is an argument that could be made of Riddler being Batman's second greatest villain. I'm super excited for the next Batman movie where he's going to be the villain. I'm so excited for that.
Oh yeah, that is right. He is a villain in that one.
Yeah, I want a good Riddler movie after not having much good Riddler stuff over the past several years. But yeah, Riddler's my favorite villain of Batman.
Yeah.
I also just want to backpedal real quick on my point about the Shocker and bring up that the Shocker is my account icon on Discord.
I was going to mention something about that too. It's like, you were talking about Shocker, and it's like, yep, your representation on Discord is the Shocker.
I forgot to bring it up earlier because I'm not looking at the Discord screen right now, but yeah, he's my icon on Discord. What's your number 6?
I have Lex Luthor.
Oh, nice.
It was kind of switch it up a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Being being the classic Superman villain, you couldn't really, I guess, not include him.
Yeah. I'm not good.
This list does not include the Supergirl one. That was. I don't claim that Lex Luthor is part of this list.
Really, I heard some alright things about him.
I only ever saw it, but I didn't care for him in Crisis.
Yeah, I didn't love him in that, but I heard he was good in Supergirl. But I can't say anything to that other than I've heard it.
Yeah.
'Cause I never watched it. Yeah, Lex Luthor's a great villain. He may or may not pop up on my list later.
You had him too?
Yeah.
To be clear, we did not. We did make these lists completely separate from each other.
Oh yeah, totally.
So it's funny when we have the same people just on different spots.
Yeah, and I think one or two things that you've mentioned might have been on my list had we done it together, because I just didn't think to put them on here.
Well, to be fair, our list would probably match if we worked together to make a list. Ours would probably match up a lot more.
Oh yeah.
With bouncing ideas off together.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, my number 6 is my Thor representative, Gore the God Butcher.
Okay.
He is my favorite Thor villain, barely beating out Loki, but
comics adaptation or Love and Thunder adaptation?
Well, for one, I haven't seen Love and Thunder yet, and two, I refuse to accept any version of Gore the God Butcher directed by Taika Waititi to count as Gore the God Butcher.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I've heard Taika Waititi's a really good director in other things. I just don't like him on Thor. And I especially don't want him directing Gore the God Butcher because he's a really scary villain. Do you know his backstory?
Not quite familiar with it.
So he's from an alien planet, and he's part of this tribe on this planet that worship these gods, and but he had like a really horrible life where his parents died right in front of him. He lost his wife and his kids, and he finally got to the point where he was like, these gods can't exist because my life's been horrible. And so he was kicked out of the tribe and left to just die in the wilderness until all of a sudden the gods that his tribe worshipped just came down in front of him fighting each other and started asking him for help in this battle. And he's like, I've been praying to you for like years and all of this stuff, and I've still had this horrible life, how dare you just come down and start asking me for help? So he stole one of their weapons, which is the Necro Sword, which I think has been recently retconned as one of the symbiotes from like Venom's stuff and everything. But but he got this sword and basically made it his mission to kill every single god that ever existed. To just go around and wipe all of them out. And so he's the main villain of the first main storyline in the most recent version, in the most recent Thor book. And then he's sort of the main villain even after he's taken out in that. He is the reason for Thor becoming unworthy and Jane eventually having to take up the hammer for a while. He's great. He's a wonderful Thor villain, and I don't know. He's great. If you that's a great jumping on point if you've never read Thor before, is to read that run in the comics. So I would totally recommend it.
Okay.
You're number 5.
Trying to think. I don't have these listed as numbers. I'm debating if I want to flip this around or not. Nah, I'm gonna go Thanos, MCU.
Oh, nice.
Since, can be a major presence for how many years before actually making a solid on-screen appearance?
Nice. Yeah,
You know, 2 phases of MCU before finally making a solid appearance in Guardians.
Yeah. He was a runner-up on my list. I didn't end up putting him on, but yeah, he's a good villain. Yeah, I agree with what you said. He's, being able to build up to that for as much as they did, I think was great. Josh Brolin was, of course, great in that role and everything.
Yeah.
I heard something like they might bring him back, like, as a prequel, like a younger version in Eternals or something. Like they might do a young Thanos type thing.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, see him like in his childhood and everything.
I mean, they could do that since... Are they doing like a MCU sort of prequel for Eternals? Like, beginning of the universe or whatever?
I think part of the movie is supposed to be set like thousands of years ago. I don't know if the whole movie is or not, but I know part of it is, for sure.
Okay.
But I could see them doing something like that, and that could be really cool. Alright, so my number 5 is Megatron.
Huh, okay.
Do you have any Transformers?
He made it on my list, too.
You made it on your list?
Yeah.
Nice. Megatron is my favorite Transformers villain, though I almost had 2 on here. I almost had Soundwave on here as well.
Question. Which one? You talking Beast Wars or G1? Or both?
I don't know. They're different characters. I'm going to go Prime. Transformers Prime.
Oh, the Prime adaptation?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my favorite version of Megatron.
So you're going to line continuity. Interesting.
Yes, if you can even really count that a continuity.
Well, I mean, it's all the Cybertron video games. You got Prime, Cyberverse, all the other films I basically followed. You got a couple books that I still have yet to read that fall in the line continuity.
Apparently, I found this out recently. Apparently, Rescue Bots is in that continuity as well.
Yeah.
Which is weird. But
Yeah, it's like everything after Prime in like TV show format is basically a line continuity.
yeah. The Netflix series.
What is animated?
Animated's its own thing.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure.
And I almost counted that as my favorite Megatron, because that Megatron is great as well. And I think that might be my favorite Transformers show. But, Yeah,
It's been forever since I've seen it animated.
It's really good. It's like a big combination of like a bunch of different Transformers stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
I don't think it's streaming anywhere to watch, but
I don't think so.
yeah, which is unfortunate. But Prime is definitely my favorite version of Megatron. He's probably the most intimidating and villainous for sure.
Yeah.
It was the first time they brought back the original G1 voice actor. Um,
That was the same voice actor?
yeah, they brought him back.
Huh.
That was the first time he came back to reprise Megatron, and then he was later in Age of Extinction and The Last Night as well.
Okay.
The live-action Megatron is not on my list.
Really?
Yeah. I liked him alright in the first couple of movies, but by the time they did Galvatron and then The Last Night...
That was weird how they switched from Galvatron to back to Megatron.
Yeah, no explanation at all. It just... And he's Megatron again.
Well, it's like his transformation isn't the same as Galvatron if they are the same
yeah.
robot or whatever.
It's just so weird. But yeah, who's your number 4?
I'm gonna rework it. I'm gonna put Megatron there.
All right.
'Cause I had Megatron further up, but I think after looking at my list, seeing what I have left, I'm gonna rework it. Put Megatron
So
at number 4.
So who's your favorite Megatron?
I don't know. I like all of them.
Yeah.
Mostly. Like I said, the Galvatron to Megatron thing was weird. So that was, I don't know. I really like the original live action.
Like from the first movie?
Well, I get that whole trilogy. I still haven't seen Revenge of the Fallen, but I enjoyed them live action in G1, I guess.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Because like the G1 original cartoon is like a classic look
Mm-hmm.
that pretty much almost every other Megatron is based off of.
I still get cracked up that he just transforms into a handgun in that.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not even that gets me so much. It's the fact that it's always Starscream, the one who he has use him in his gun form. And it's like, Starscream's constantly trying to betray you and take over as the leader of the Decepticons. Why would you make him be the one to use you in your alternate mode?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I like G1 Megatron as well. I almost put Soundwave on my list, too.
Soundwave would have been a good one.
He's definitely my second favorite Transformers villain, but...
my other villain would probably have been Shockwave.
Shockwave's a good one as well.
That probably would have been the Align continuity, though.
Yeah, he's great in that. I could see them doing a Transformers show where, like, Shockwave's the main villain instead of Megatron.
They get away with it, yeah.
I think he's that good of a villain that they could do something like that. Alright, so my number 4 is the Reverse Flash.
Which one? Or just most,
I like the Arrowverse one in general. I do tend to lean more towards Harrison Wells, just because I like Tom Cavanaugh so much. But I also like the other guy that they've got playing him, and I wish they would bring him back. I think it's weird that they totally just dropped him at a point, and they're sticking with the Harrison Wells version, even though that doesn't really quite line up continuity-wise at all. But I mean,
well, to be fair, he's escaped death how many times?
Yeah, true.
Well, it's like, how many times has he died? How many times has he come back?
Every time. Yeah.
That's the weird thing, is they don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, at this point he just keeps coming back because he's the Flash's main villain. But, I don't know. In Season 1, he's possibly the best Arrowverse villain, I think.
He'd be up there. I don't know if I would put him as my best Arrowverse villain, but he'd be a top 3 for sure.
Who would be your number 1?
That's a toss-up between either Deathstroke or Prometheus.
Okay. Yeah, I like Deathstroke quite a bit, and I haven't seen Prometheus in anything, but...
You didn't watch 5 of Arrow? Season 5 of Arrow?
I watched a little bit of it, but that was when I sort of started to drop off everything, because I think that was also during, like, Season 3 of The Flash, which is when I dropped off as well.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do me a favor. Arrow's on Netflix. Go back and rewatch 5.
Okay.
5 is good.
Okay. I heard that one was better than some of the other seasons.
That was like one of the best ones. Arguably the best one outside of 2.
Alright.
Like I would rank them 2 and 5 as 1 and 2. And then it'd probably be like season 1 after that. And then it'd be like 8. Maybe 7.
Okay.
Like, it falls off after that. Because then you got, Ra's al Ghul, Damien Dark, Ricardo Diaz, which was one of the worst ones.
Really?
And then, that switch up. For 2 seasons, he was classified as the villain, which was
Oh, wow.
absolutely terrible.
Alright. Yeah, I'll try and check that season out soon. But yeah, Reverse Flash is... he's my favorite Flash villain, which is weird to say because for so long it was Captain Cold, but I'm like, no, it's got to be Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
And I like him in the comics, too, from what I've read of him there. He's a great villain in that as well.
Yeah. He's portrayed well in most media adaptations.
Yeah. The rumor right now that I've heard is that in the Flash movie, he'll be played by Michael Fassbender.
That would be a good casting.
That would be awesome casting. I would be so down for that, especially after seeing Days of Future Past where he played Magneto.
Yeah.
He would be great casting.
I didn't even put Magneto on my list.
I didn't either, but he was a runner-up.
He would have been close, I think. If I had thought about him sooner, he would have been up there. Because, like, Fassbender probably has to be my favorite adaptation of Magneto.
Yeah, he was great.
Like McKellen's a classic Magneto, but my favorite has to be Fassbender.
Mm-hmm. And McAvoy was great as Xavier.
He probably have to be my choice for Xavier too.
Yeah.
Rather than Stewart, but
yeah, Fassbender would be a great Reverse Flash.
yeah.
I also heard other rumors that they were going to do like a gender bent thing and have, I think it was Jessica Chastain play Reverse Flash at one point.
No, I don't know about that one.
I don't know how. I don't think I like that one.
That's too weird of a one to
Yeah.
do.
It's weird that both of those choices are people who played villains in X-Men movies, because she was the villain in Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
And that they would also have been X-Men villains in the same X-Men movie.
True.
I think that's funny. Alright, you're number 3.
I had Lucifer, Supernatural / Bible.
slash Bible.
/ Bible, since, fictional. I wasn't going to put him as, biblical Lucifer, but then I was like, wait a minute, that has to be fictional.
Yeah.
Loophole, Supernatural / Bible.
Yeah, exactly. The greatest real-life villain is...
Yeah, I mean, like, the OG villain.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I knew he was going to be on your list.
Wow.
Yeah. He was...
What does that say about me as a person, if that makes the list, if you had to call that?
that you like Supernatural quite a bit.
Fair.
I knew you were going to have some sort of supernatural villain on your list, and I figured it would be him.
Also say, no, if we're doing top 10 villains that we hate, Metatron would be number 1.
Yeah, true.
That was just a terrible villain. It was with Supernatural. It was going to be Lucifer or God, with being the favorite villain.
Yeah.
The season 14 finale was a good one.
Really?
I need to go back and watch. I need to go back and watch all the Supernatural seasons because, like, you know, once they put on, I'll probably do it once they put on the season 15 season. I'll probably go back and watch them all.
Yeah.
One last time.
Yeah, because they're finishing up the final season now.
Final 7 started. I think it was Thursday. I think.
Have you been keeping up with it, or
No.
no?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna need tissues working my way through all 15 seasons. You realize how much it's gonna hurt every season finale?
Yeah.
Hearing Carrie on at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, they better keep that as the series finale intro.
Oh, they would have to. I couldn't see them not doing that.
Didn't they do it? I don't think they did it for one of the seasons. I can't remember which one. But I think there was one season without Carrie on.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They better do a whole show recap in the first 5 minutes.
And it would
You know
take
how, like,
5 minutes.
I hope they do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool thing.
I haven't kept up with Supernatural in a while.
I watched 14, and that was like as 15 was coming on, and I didn't watch it.
Okay.
I watched 15 after that
Yeah.
because I couldn't bring myself to watch the final season.
I still need to get around to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because the final season hasn't been put on Netflix yet, and I don't know where I'm going to be able to watch it. Because that's like my Supernatural. It's like the show I've always kept up with.
Yeah.
And I didn't keep up with the final season, and I was hoping it would be on Netflix, but it still hasn't shown up, and it's been like 3 months, so I'm getting kind of worried now. But,
I can't remember what the last season I watched of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was. I think it was the time travel one,
yeah.
where they went into the future.
I think we talked about that season on this podcast in like the first or second episode.
Probably.
I almost put John Garrett from season 1 on
That
this
would have
list.
been a good one.
I almost put him on here.
Oh, that pairing, John Garrick and what was Brad Dalton's character? Agent Ward.
Yes.
Hydra.
Oh yeah, they were
that would have
great.
been a good one to put on here.
Oh yeah, I almost put them on.
I might go back and just rewatch season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it's
just to watch that.
yeah.
'Cause that was a good season.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I almost put him on here.
You would have been a runner up on the list. That would have been a good one to put on.
So that was your number 3. Lucifer was your number 3.
Yep.
All right, my number 3 is Lex Luthor.
Really, you put him this far up.
Yeah, Lex Luthor's my favorite DC villain. I'm a big fan of Lex Luthor. I think that now that they have the ability to use him in like the main Arrowverse universe, they should go back and redo Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
As like an actual Legion of Doom. Because you can't do Legion of Doom without Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Well, because doesn't he, like, he's the head of it in the comic.
Oh yeah, he's the main guy. Yeah, no. You basically said everything that I had to say. He's the best Superman villain. He's one of the all-time great supervillains. I guess if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Justice League, the animated series.
That's the good one.
Yeah, he's really good in that.
I would also like to make a comment. I do not claim the Jesse Eisenberg Lex Luthor.
Oh, yeah, no.
Not my Lex Luthor.
Yeah, hashtag
Even
not my
though
Lex.
Even though I still haven't seen BVS, from what I've seen, not my Lex Luthor.
We are going to do a video of sometime when you're back for Thanksgiving, because you won't go back to school after Thanksgiving, right?
No, at Thanksgiving. I'm home for till January.
All right. So when you're home during that period, we are going to sit down and we're going to do a video of you watching BVS for the first time.
Uh oh.
Yeah.
Is it that bad? We have to do a video on it.
Yes. Yeah.
I was gonna say we can do like a Discord watch night, but if you're one to get my first impressions of it,
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
oh, is it really that bad?
yes.
Oh jeez. No. Are we doing the Ultimate Edition or are we doing a standard regular theatrical cut?
Both are bad, but like you won't even know what's going on in the theatrical version. Like you'll still be confused by a lot of stuff in the Ultimate Edition, but you'll at least have a better understanding of what's going on than the theatrical version. So I guess we'll go with that one.
Okay.
But
Okay, fine. I'll watch BVS if you watch the road cut of Days of Future Past with me.
okay. I don't see how I'm losing in that situation.
I know. The little bits they add in the road cut is weird if you try to do Days of Future Past.
Really?
Or if you try to look back on like Last Stand.
Okay.
But if you don't claim Last Stand as part of being part of the storyline, then you should be good.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to because Cyclops and Jean are both dead, leading into the good future at the end of that movie.
Yeah.
But that movie...
Well, but to be fair, Days of Future Past does get rid of that timeline by the end of the film.
I was about to say, like, you have to keep
so,
it... You have to keep it
doesn't
in the...
really exist.
You have to keep it in there up until that final scene because that movie exists to take it out of the timeline.
Yeah.
So, yeah. For, like, the first majority of the movie, it counts, but then at the very end... yeah. No, we're totally doing that. I'm totally making you watch BVS. I'm going to record your impressions of it.
Oh, jeez.
Because you liked Man of Steel more than I did, didn't you?
It was interesting. I thought it was a good film.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how you react to BVS.
Alright. I'm going to do it, Kev. I'm going to do it. You want me to do it? I'm going to do it.
You're good.
I want to do it.
Okay, we'll do it.
If you want to see us watch these, if you want us to put up these videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, follow up with the bell icon so we get notifications of when we do upload. Because, you know, we have no schedule of uploading.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do something more frequently, but who knows?
So, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell icon.
I knew you were going to do it. I was kind of surprised it took hour and 40 minutes.
Well, you're talking about future videos, so I had to do it.
Yeah, you know. That was the perfect time.
Yeah. You know, had to do it for old time's sake.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, that's just like a trend at this point. That's our
Yeah.
theme.
That's my trend.
Yeah, basically. What's your number 2?
Number 2, Joker.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I thought he was going to be your number 1, so now I'm fascinated
No.
to see who your number 1 is.
You should already know this.
I'm going to feel stupid getting to it then.
Because I've already told you who my number 1 is.
Alright.
I've told you in this podcast who my number 1 is.
Duh, yeah, totally.
Without saying he's my number 1.
Yeah, no, now I know who it is, looking back on my list. Yeah,
I'll say it is someone on your list.
okay, yeah, I know who it is.
But yeah, number 2, Joker.
Nice. Which
The amount
version?
of pain he has inflicted on the Batman, like just Joker in general.
Okay.
In the Leto version, I don't claim Leto as my Joker.
Yeah, hashtag not my Joker.
Hashtag not my Joker.
Yeah, I mean,
But no, I think he's been fairly represented in most form of media, other than Leto.
yeah,
Like, that's not Joker. I mean, I haven't seen the Joker movie either, so I don't know how well that fits his character, but everything else I've seen is fairly comic book accurate and what that character is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's hard to make a bad Joker, I think.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that he's an easy character to do well, but like there's so much there already that's so good. Like it shouldn't be difficult to make him a good villain to Batman.
Yeah. It's like you can't have Batman without Joker.
Yeah, and I also don't think you can have Joker without Batman, but they made a movie about it, so
2.
yeah, they did recently confirm that sequel.
But you know.
Yeah.
Alright, who's your number 2?
The Master.
That's right, you did say you were going to have a Doctor Who one. I figured about that one, too.
Yeah, the Master's my favorite Doctor Who villain. I like just about every version of the Master. I can't really think of one that I don't like. Even in, like, the
You
worst...
like Missy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
I didn't care for that one.
Yeah. You also didn't like
No.
Capaldi as much as I did, didn't you?
From what I've seen, not really, no.
And Capaldi's my favorite Doctor, so...
No. Tennant's always been my favorite.
Tennant's great. Tennant's a close second, but...
Hashtag Tennant's my Doctor.
But, yeah, Capaldi... I don't know. I like the whole grumpy, sarcastic old man Doctor a lot. I thought Capaldi did great with that. But, yeah,
I thought you were going to go 13 Doctor as your favorite villain.
She's not terrible.
In the same sense, I went Kathleen Kennedy for...
Yeah, no,
favorite villain.
if I had to pick something like that as my favorite villain, it would have been Chris Chibnall, who's writing the stuff.
Yeah.
But even the way he writes the Master is great. He writes a good Master. The Master this season is one of the better Masters, in my opinion. It was just everything around the Master that was awful.
I need to go back and watch those Tenet episodes of The Master.
Oh,
I need to go back and watch Tenet in general.
And they bring that Master back in Capaldi's finale and have him team up with Missy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's confusing.
The Master's timeline is confusing.
That's true.
We
too.
still don't know where the current Master fits in the timeline.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
because...
Well, to be fair, do we know where any of the Doctors fit in their timeline?
Yeah, because we see them regenerate into each other.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's for what? 1 through 12? Actually, really it's 1 through 9, or 1 through 8, and then it's 9 through 13.
Yeah,
All we know
true.
it could be, 13 can regenerate into 1 and then start the cycle over again.
Well, don't get me started on the whole regeneration cycle thing, because...
I'll say, didn't the Christmas special for 12 retcon that?
No?
Not 12, 11. It was 11. Christmas special for 11.
No, he got a new regeneration cycle.
Really?
Yeah, they gave him a whole new set of regenerations.
How did that happen? I forgot.
It's been a while since I've seen it. So you know how throughout all of 11's run, there were, like, the cracks in the universe and everything?
That's right.
Basically, the reveal was, like, that the Time Lords were in their own pocket dimension, and the crack was through that pocket dimension, and they granted him a whole new cycle through that.
Okay.
But then apparently there was a whole like infinite number of Doctors that existed before the first Doctor, according to this new season. So,
yeah, I did hear about that one. That was weird.
Oh, it's... If you want to hear my opinions on that, go back and listen to our last podcast we did.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Because I could go on a whole another like 45-minute rant about that.
You can do that as one of your standalone episodes.
Oh my gosh, it's awful.
Do a podcast by yourself of just going on a rant about Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's bad. But yeah, The Master is my number 2. I even like a lot of the classic series masters.
I've never seen the classic series.
I've been getting into it some lately. I've got
I need to.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. You gotta get past like all the cheesy costumes and all that, but
So was that 1 through 4, 5?
it kind of goes through all of them, but it's especially early on.
Which one had all the bright colors? Was that 5 or 4?
Like the bright colored costume,
Yeah.
that was 6.
Really?
Yeah,
That was earlier.
no, he had the bright colored costume and everything.
Which one had the question mark?
7.
That was several of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, but 7 had the question mark Kane.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
He also played Radagast in The Hobbit. Going back to
that's
your number
right.
10.
Wait, which one's related? Which Tennant's related to which Doctor?
He married the daughter of the 5th Doctor.
Who is also the Doctor's daughter in the Doctor's daughter episode?
Yes. So, that's
That's
fun.
one of my favorite stories to come out of Tennant's years as a Doctor, is that the Doctor married the Doctor's daughter, who actually happens to be the Doctor's daughter.
Yes, pretty much.
And now the Doctor had a daughter with the Doctor's daughter, so now the daughter is the...
Yeah, basically.
They're still married, right? Aren't they?
Oh yeah, no. As far as I'm aware, they're still married. So,
David Tennant. I'm gonna look it up quick.
yeah. I guess if I had to pick a favorite master, it would probably be John Sims, who played him during the Tennant era. But I think I like all the masters. Like, I can't think of a master off the top of my head I don't like.
Yeah.
Which is more than can be said about the Doctor.
Oh, wait, hold on now. I just realized David Tennant had a bunch of kids.
How many kids does he have?
3, 4, 5 children.
Oh my gosh!
Here I was thinking he didn't have any.
Wow, I didn't know he had that many.
According to the Wikipedia page, he has that many.
Oh wow.
I was not aware of this.
Nice.
I mean, good for him.
Yeah, no, good for
that,
him.
Give him that part of his life private, which is hard to do.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah. So Michael, who is your number 1?
Alright, you should know this one.
Yeah, I know it.
Who is it?
Darth Vader.
Correct.
I don't know why I didn't suspect that. Especially after you told me he was on your list.
He was going to be on the list.
I don't know. For some reason, that just escaped my brain.
But you know how big Star Wars fan I am.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
How did you not think he was going to be up on the top of my list?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm like, does he really need an explanation? Like, if he needed an explanation, go back and look at all of our past podcasts that have Star Wars in the title.
I think most of them are Star Wars related, if not
we
all
have
of them.
linked Star Wars in most of these podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, in some form or fashion.
Yeah, totally.
If it wasn't part of our planned topics, we went on a rant that somehow was linked to Star Wars and then went down a rabbit hole,
Oh yeah.
as we do for most of our podcasts.
Yep. Yeah, Darth Vader, great villain.
Yeah.
You
Has
want-
his own theme song that plays when he walks into a room.
Yeah, and if you've got that going for you, you might as well be number 1.
Yep.
Can you guess my number 1 villain?
I don't know, because your list has been... I've completely second-guessed your list. I have no idea.
Before going into this, who did you think it would be?
But
Do what?
I had no idea, because I didn't really think about it.
Mine is Doctor Doom.
Really?
Yeah, Doctor Doom is my favorite supervillain.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a huge Doctor Doom fan. I think Doctor Doom should be like the next big Marvel villain as far as the movies go.
I mean, they should loop him in, but I don't know about big villain.
The thing is that Doctor Doom he's both a Fantastic Four villain and a Marvel Universe villain.
Yeah.
He's part of like every part of the Marvel Universe. So like he's into all the science and technology side. So he could be an Iron Man villain.
Science bro.
Yeah. He's a sorcerer, so he could go up against Doctor Strange.
Facial hair bro.
Yeah. I think if they were to make him the next Marvel villain, which I really hope they do, it sounds like they're going with Kang the Conqueror, who is also a really good choice, but I still want Doctor Doom. Since Doctor Doom is such like can be anyone's villain, I would like to see him pop up in multiple people's movies before they do like an event movie, even as like the main villain of one or two people's movies. I could see him popping up as the main villain of a Doctor Strange movie, and then a Black Panther movie, and then
Panther?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he is like he could go up against any Marvel villain, I think.
I mean, yeah, I don't doubt that, but I'm just thinking, I don't recall a time where it was just Panther v. Doom.
There was a rumor going around at one point that he was going to be the villain of Black Panther 2.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still the plan or what, but I don't know. I just think he is a great villain. I think he could work for just about against any hero. I don't know. I like him quite a bit. I know I caught you off guard with that one, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think the place where I really became a Doctor Doom fan is when I read Secret Wars. Yeah.
2015 with the Trash Fantastic Four movie.
No, not that version.
Yes.
No. That is not Doctor Doom in any way, shape, or form.
That's not your Doctor Doom?
# not my Doctor Doom. Those are going to be the hashtags that are at the bottom of the description of this video.
If you like this video, leave a hashtag not your villain.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you agree with one of our picks, make sure you reference which adaptation you did not like using hashtag not my villain.
Jared Leto, # not my Joker. Yeah, no, not that version of Doctor Doom by any means. But actually the Secret Wars comic that I think we reviewed on the podcast before is
Emperor Doom.
Yeah, that's where I really was like, oh,
that was an interesting adaptation.
Yeah, that's my favorite take on Doctor Doom, and then I've just really become a big fan of that character in other versions as well. Not necessarily live action, because we haven't gotten a good live action Doctor Doom, but in other places.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was going to have a place for us to do honorable mentions, but we sort of did that as we went along.
We sprinkled that throughout.
Yeah, there was one other villain that almost made it on my list, Mysterio from Far From Home. But,
that was a good one.
I ended up not putting him on my list. There was one other, I think, as well. Nope. But yeah, any others that you didn't mention along the way that you almost put on?
No, not really.
Alright, nice. Yeah. So, I think that's all we had set to talk about today.
Yeah.
You want to do the outro?
Alright, for old time's sake.
Since I did the intro.
Yeah. Alright guys, make sure y'all hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell icon, so you get notified of all the videos. Click the link on the left for one of our older podcasts. Click the link on the right for also one of our older podcasts. Bye guys.
You're going to make me put in links on the videos for...
You don't have to.
Just go to our channel and find the old podcast.
Yeah.
They're like severely outdated at this point.
Yes.
Alright. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully we'll be able to do this more frequently, but who knows. See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.